So we welcome back Gavin to the channel with his Thousand Sons. That's a debut on the channel for Gavin's Thousand Sons. Might have seen him previously with his Tyranids and with his Tau, but yeah, brand new army, his Thousand Sons, and they look pretty amazing. So we've got 2,000 points here. Gavin, do you want to go through what you've got, starting over here? So we've got a battalion, haven't we, and a vanguard, as well as a big old Fate Weaver. So if we start with your battalion, what have we got here?
Okay, so I've got Araman on a flying disc.
Yep.
He's got Doombolt, Zinch Firestorm and Warp Time for his psychic powers.
Very nice, very nice.
The Demon Prince at the back there, he's the Warlord for today.
Okay.
He's got Diabolic Strength.
Yep.
And Infernal Gateway.
Very cool.
As well as Time Flux, because they are the Cult of Time.
Cult of Time, yep, so that's from the recent Psychic Awakening, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
Very nice.
And he's got the Hourglass of Manet for his relic.
Okay, what does that do?
That allows him, when he dies for the first time, he can be brought back to life with D3 wounds.
What? Okay, very nice. Cool, what's next?
He's also taking Aether Stride, if I'm saying that right.
Aether Stride,
yeah,
okay.
Aether Stride, which allows him to advance and charge in the same turn.
Advance and charge of a winged demon prince. Yikes.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so there's your HQ element of the battalion. What else have we got in the battalion here?
Moving on to the troops.
Yep.
We've got 2 squads of 10 Rubric Marines.
Yep.
Armed with Inferno Bolters, Soul Reaper Cannon, and the Icon of Flames.
Yep, very
and
cool.
They've got Temporal Manipulation for their Sorcerer's psychic power.
Very cool. And behind them we have a squad of
10 Zangors armed with chainsaws and bolt pistols.
Very cool.
And they've got again the Icon of Flame.
Yep.
And a Briarhorn, although I haven't shown it in the model.
Okay, he's hiding his Briarhorn somewhere. Yeah, maybe beneath his tunic. And then over we've got some Terminators.
Yeah, I've got 2 squads of 5 Scarab Occult Terminators.
Very cool.
With Sorcerer up. They've got the Soul Reaper Cannon.
Yep.
As well as
the missile launcher, whatever that's called.
I can't remember what it's called now.
The Thousand Sun missile launcher that goes on Terminators. That's what it's called. And then for your heavy choice in this attachment,
heavy choice, I have my Mauler Fiend with Lasher Tendrils.
Very cool, very cool. And then so that's your battalion. We'll go over to your vanguard here. So you've got a Demon Vanguard of Zinch.
Demon Vanguard
with the Changeling.
With the Changeling as the HQ.
Very cool.
And he has, let me find him in my little booklet thingies.
Okay.
So his psychic power, so you see, it has Treason of Zinch.
Treason of Zinch as his psychic power.
One of my most favourite psychic powers, that Zinch.
Oh, really? And 3 Exalted Flamers there.
Exalted Flamers.
Very nice. And then finally at the back, the big guy's turning up. You've done a beautiful job painting him. Taking you a few months, as you were saying, and it's, yeah, you can see, absolutely gorgeous model. What has Fate Weaver got?
So Fate Weaver's all standard, as he is in the Codex, which allows him to basically have all of the psychic powers from the Zinch book.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. And that is just shy of 2,000 points there. How many command points have you got?
I have 7 remaining.
7 command points remaining. Cool. Alright, so let's have a look at what I'm bringing today, and then we'll have a look at the battlefield. And here we are with my Imperial Guard force. We've gone with Cadia as our regiment, and we've got 1 battalion here. So if I run through what we've got, it's quite a nice little force, quite well rounded. So we'll start off with the Warlord down here. So he has got the Relic of Lost Cadia, of course. He has got the Cadia Warlord trait, which is Advanced Tactical Training, and a Power Fist. Behind him, he has got his command squad all kitted out with plasma guns. We have a big blob of troops here, so 4 squads of 10. Each has a missile launcher in those guard squads there. We go over to the left, we have got 2 squads of stormtroopers. So this squad at the front here is 2 volley guns and a squad of 10. That squad there has got 2 plasma guns, a squad of 9. And then we have the stormtrooper commander there with a power fist. Behind we have the 1st tank squadron, so we've got 2 demolishers. both with las cannons in the hull. One has multi-melters and the other one has plasma cannons. We go over here, we've got two Leman Russ exterminators with heavy bolters on there. We have got a Salamander command vehicle there. We're going over to the right hand side, we've got two squads of veterans. Both squads have two flamers and one melter. This one here has a plasma gun on the sergeant. Both rocking up in chimeras. The chimeras are two heavy bolters and a heavy stubber pintle mounted there. And down here we have the Primaris Psyker with Night Shroud and the barrier ability. And that is my army. So I've only got one detachment here, so I retain the command points for the battalion. So I've got 12 command points. And let's see what we can do to the filthy Thousand Suns in this game. So let's move on to Battlefield and Mission. Right, so both forces have deployed in this ancient city. The Guard have come across the Thousand Suns as they search for artifacts. Across here we have got the Thousand Suns deployment here. We're doing the battle lines from chapter approved. So we've got 4 objective markers. We've got one down here in the Thousand Suns deployment here. We have got another one around on the other side of this old cathedral down there. We've got one down here in the Guard deployment. And finally we have got another one down here. So we can look here, we've got the Thousand Suns kind of completely formed a nice battle line across the ancient ruins here. We've got the rubrics, Exalted Flamers, Changeling, all the way across here. Fate Weaver at the back there in cover. The buildings we're using as ruins. So essentially he'd have a 1-up save. +1 to his save if he's in the footfall of the terrain here. In reserve, Gavin has placed both squads of Terminators over on the Guard deployment. We then have the veterans in a Chimera here. Guard squads kind of scattered throughout, but still holding a line of such. Got one tank squadron here. We've got another tank squadron demolishers a bit further back. Maybe preparing for a counter-attack. Who knows what's going to happen. In reserve, we have 2 squads of stormtroopers, as well as their commander, coming in through grab, shoot, insertion. And yeah, we are all set to play this game. Gavin's secondary objectives are thin the ranks, bring it down, grind them to dust. Myself, I've gone engage in all fronts, assassinate, and teleport Homer. So, let's see who is going to be going first. Gavin, are you going to roll a dice for me, please? Oh, it's a 1. Alright, we can beat a 1. Surely we can beat a 1. Oh, no, we can't. Alright, roll again, please, sir. It's going to be one of those games. A 2, alright. A 6, there we go. So we're going to move over to turn 1 for the Guard. Right, so after turn 1 movement for the Guard, the lines don't look too different at the moment. The Leman Russ over here is just pushed up. This one as well, they're just pushing up to better positions. Demolishers are slowly moving forward here, in no rush at the moment. It's still out of range. And I'm pretty sure the Thousand Suns are going to be heading this way anyway, so let's not worry too much. The veterans in the Chimeras both have rocked up. This one was able to get here without advancing, which is quite nice. On the other side of the battlefield, this Chimera had to advance up onto that objective, both sitting there at the moment, so making sure the Thousand Suns try to push them off there. I'm sure Gavin's got plans already. However, talking of Gavin, he has changed his secondaries. Obviously there's a bit of a slip up there, so he's gone with thin their ranks, bring it down, and mental interrogation. So that is his secondaries. We're going to move on now to turn 1 shooting for the Guard. So in the shooting phase here, both missiles from this squad have fired off towards the mauler thing there. I've been doing a grand total of 3 wounds. Yeah, not good. So the exterminator here, he's going to fire every weapon he's got after being boosted by the command vehicle. So his ability essentially means that you add 1 to hit rolls to a friendly vehicle. So we're using this one here. So we have only moved a small distance, so we still have 8 shots coming in. So we are hitting on 3s. Here we go. Take those ones away. Okay, let's see if we can wound. Okay, so we need 4 to wound. Okay, oh dear, only 2. 2 saves, please, Gavin, of the -1 type. Each of these does 2 damage.
All good.
Ah, typical. Right, so I'm going to fire the heavy bolters now. So heavy bolters obviously have changed. They now do 2 wounds instead of 1. Oh, so let's have a look, see if we can hit. Right, so hitting on freeze. Ooh. Hitting on freeze. I was just on freeze. There we go. Wounding on 5s. So it's 2. 2 saves, please, Gavin. Once again, of a -1 sword. Oh, 1's got through. So that's 2 damage on the Mauler Fiend there. That's not too bad. Let's see what else we can do. Next up here, we are firing this Chimera over into the rubrics there. So we've got 2 heavy bolters and a heavy stubber that I've got to fire. Now let's see if we can actually do anything to these filthy rubrics. Right, so we're hitting on 4s. Oh my goodness, that's 3 hit. We are then wounding on 3s. Oh, 1. 1 armor save, please, Gavin. It is -1, but 2 damage because it's a heavy bolter.
All good.
Oh my goodness. Heavy stubber. 2 hit. 4 to wound. 2 wounds. I think you get a 2-up save here because you get all his dust. And he's done that as well. Oh my goodness. Right, we're going to have to fire the last exterminator into him as well. So this exterminator here is going to fire down the field into the rubrics. It is in range, but it's hitting on 4s, unlike its fellow tank, which got boosted. So here we go, hitting on 4s. Okay, so that's 4. Wounding on 3s. So that's 2. 2 saves, please, on -1. Okay, so 1's dead. Wow, that was good. Right, and then moving on to the heavy bolters. Once again, hitting on 4s. Oh my goodness, my dice rolls are not doing well so far. Wounding on 3s. So that's 3 saves, please, Gavin, for these guys over here. 1 more has fallen there, so we've taken 2 of the rubrics out there. Let's have just a quick recap on what else has happened in the shooting phase. Right, so at the end of the shooting phase, as you saw here, 2 of the rubrics fell in this squad. 5 wounds were dealt out to the Mauler Fiend there, so the Mauler Fiend can still regenerate wounds, so it's not the end of the world for it. And over here, both the Demolishers fired their cannons, what they can reach, the plasma cannons and las cannons in here, and killed off 2 of the rubrics there. So not a great deal of pain dealt out to the Thousand Suns, but you know, that's all we can do at the moment, unfortunately. So we've got no assault. We're going to move straight into turn 1 for the Thousand Suns. Turn 1 movement for the Thousand Suns here. So the rubric squad here is advanced, or just moved up, sorry. Fate Weaver and Demon Prince have pounced from behind cover there, along here. These guys have remained in the centre, not willing to move yet, and compromise their position. Over here, the rubrics down here have also moved up towards a Chimera. And the Mauler Fiend running down the centre of the field there, obviously recovering 1 wound, which was lost previously. Gav did use a reroll to get the advance a little bit further across the field here, because he was kind of limbering along slightly, not that enthusiastic. Gavin gave him a little push. We're going to move into turn 1 psychic and shooting for the Thousand Suns. Right, so starting off the psychic phase here, we are casting temporal manipulation from the squad onto the Mauler Fiend here, trying to regenerate a little bit of woundage for him. So what's the warp charge on this? 6. 6. See if Gavin can get 6 here. And there you go, 8.
D3 wounds back.
1 wound has come back to him. There we go. Right, okay. So let's find out what else he's going to be doing in his psychic phase. Okay, so it's Araman using his abilities here. He is casting Warp Time on here. Treason of Zinch.
Zinch Firestorm.
Firestorm on these. And what was it on this one?
Doombolt.
Doom Bolt on this one. So he's fighting. Oh, jeez, it's going to be painful. Right, so let's do warp time first. So it's +1 to this roll. Yep, he's made it. Then we have Firestorm.
Need a 7.
Need a 7. Right, here we go. Yep, that's gone as well.
So I need 9 dice.
9 dice onto this lot here. Right, okay. Let's come back and see what happens. Okay, so any roll of a 6 here is a mortal wound on my guard squad. Right, hopefully for no 6s. Oh, jeez. Oh, you need so many 6s. So it's 4 6s on the guard squad there. Ouch. Okay, and then we'll move on to Doom Bolt. Right, so next up we've got Doom Bolt going in here. Are you ready? What do you need here?
I need at least an 8 because of the +1 for the psychic test. Just don't care about
No, what a shame. What a shame. Right, okay, so we're going to move the Maul Fiend up his movement, and yeah, he's going to be within range for an assault, I believe. Right, let's find out. Right, so next up we've got the Warlord here. He is casting a Smite and a Diabolic Strength on himself. So, do you want to do your Smite first?
Indeed.
Right, here we go. Okay, yep, so that has gone off. Very nice. D3 wounds on the Chimera. 1. Good. Ha ha ha. And then we have got a Diabolic Strength, which is Warp Charge of 6. Right, here we go. And that's gone off as well. Well, goodness, these Thousand Suns are quite good at Warp Craft. Right, okay, and let's move on to the next Psyker. Okay, so we had a Time Flux attempted here. Unfortunately, that didn't go off. It's the one ability that hasn't gone off so far. Hopefully a few more will fail, as Fate Weaver is now going to be targeting this Chimera to try and remove it from the game. It's already suffered 1 wound from a Smite. Are you ready to cast some more, Gavin?
Yeah.
So what is the first ability?
So we will do Bolt of Change.
Bolt of Change first is going in here.
Needs an 8.
Needs an 8. Oh no, what a shame. Also got Gaze of Fate as well. You're going to be casting that just for an extra reroll somewhere down the line.
Yep.
So that's a warp charge of 6. Nope, that didn't go off.
Should have casted that the last dice.
Oh no.
And then Infernal Gateway.
Infernal Gateway here.
Needs an 8.
This is the first time you've used... Oh, there you go. Infernal Gateway has gone off. This is the first time you've used Fate Weaver.
It is.
New model syndrome. That's probably why.
Oh.
Right, okay. What does Infernal Gateway do?
D3 mortal wounds.
D3 mortal wounds. So it's already taken 1. Oh, reroll that one. That's still a 1. So that's 2 wounds on the Chimera there as Gavin's testing his luck there. Maybe Zinch isn't on his side. Ooh. Let's move on to shooting. No, we're not looking at that 6. Right, so in the shooting phase there, not a great deal happened. Over here, the Exalted Flamer there fired in with his heavy weapon, causing a few wounds there. I think it caused 3 wounds in total, one of the shots. We then had the bolters coming in with the assault cannon as well, taking this Chimera down to 3 wounds there. So it's pretty badly mauled at this point. I'm pretty sure the Demon Prince might make short work of it. Across the field here, a very similar story, although this Chimera came off a little bit better than the previous one. So the Exalted Flames both fired and completely fluffed. The Soul Reaper fired as well, almost did nothing, and the Bolters fired and taking this one down to 7. So that one's in a slightly better state. We're going to move into turn 1 assault for the Thousand Suns, because I'm pretty sure this guy here might want to do something. So let's see what the Thousand Suns can do. End of turn 1 assault for the Thousand Suns. So over here, Demon Prince charged in, slicing apart the Chimera. Unfortunately, he sliced it a bit too well and it exploded on him, causing 3 mortal wounds. 1 of the veterans were killed in the explosion. Down here, however, the Mauler Fiend got greedy, attempted a charge on the Salamander command vehicle. We used Vengeance for Cadia, and we caused 3 wounds on the Mauler Fiend, who then failed his charge, even with a reroll. Oh dear. And over here, a successful charge from the Rubric Marines, placed them in combat with the Chimera. The Chimera, however, did not do anything back, and the Rubric Marines didn't actually do anything anyway, so a bit of a stalemate there, but they are on the objective there. It's put the Thousand Suns in a very strong position for turn 2. Gavin has taken a few points. Obviously, he's put himself up to quite a few with thin their ranks, bring it down as well. So let's see what the Imperial Guard can do in turn 2. Right, turn to movement. So beginning of the turn here, we have scored 5 points for being on this objective here. Unfortunately, at the beginning of the turn, we weren't really on any other objectives because of the Thousand Suns counter-attack. Everyone has pretty much remained stationary on this flank here. Demolisher is pushed up slightly there to get a good bead down on the rubrics there. It's going to pop a shot in there. The veterans here have disembarked. The Chimera is now out of combat as well, so they'll be putting some flamers into the rubric marines there. Not sure how well they're going to do against those beasts, but we'll see. This squad of veterans have jumped onto this objective. Also looking at the demon prince there, hopefully going to put a few shots in there and get rid of him. Of course we've got assassinate, so that would be helpful if we killed off his warlord. Over here, the squad of Tempestuous Scions have jumped in on the backfield. Going to be targeting the squad of Zangors there. I don't know if they're going to do much, but we need to be dealing with these guys, hopefully knocking them off their objective there. Down here, this squad with the commander have come in behind the Exalted Flamer to add a bit of support for the veterans there. So that is our movement. Hopefully we're in a good place to do some damage to these filthy Chaos Scammers. But who knows? Things may change. So we're going to move into turn 2. Psychic and shooting for the Imperial Guard. Right, turn 2, psychic and shooting. Down here to start off with, the Salamander command vehicle decided to boost up this Demolisher here, which was very handy because he fired everything into the Mauler there, destroying him. Luckily there was no explosion and he just fell to the ground there. That missile launcher did fire beforehand and did nothing. Over here, the Demolisher here fired a massive volley of fire in, killing off the rubrics. Actually killing all of them. The veterans did give it a good go, but even with their increased AP from the stratagem experienced eye, they weren't really able to do anything, which is a bit of a shame. Down here we had plasma and hotshot fire coming into the Exalted Flamer. We had 4 hits, 4 wounds on the Exalted Flamer, and then 4 invulnerable saves were made. Most embarrassing. Coming across here, we had fire coming in from this Lehman Russ and the veterans going into the Demon Prince here. So Demon Prince has actually died, although because of his relic, he came back with 2 wounds, and I haven't been able to target him unfortunately until the end of the shooting phase. So I can't do anything else there. Over here, this squad of stormtroopers fired in as well, killing off 2 of the Zangors there. So the stormtroopers haven't had much luck, unfortunately, only killing off a couple and inflicting a couple of wounds. Hopefully next turn, if they're still alive, they could do something. But we're going to end this phase with the Exterminator here, with Vengeance of Cadia, firing over into these Rubric Marines down here. So we are going to fire first off the autocannons. So the autocannons here are hitting on a 4, re-rolling. We've got a few misses there, which isn't great. Need freeze to wound. So Gavin, that would be 5 saves of a -1 to damage apiece. So you're going to need 4s here. Oh my goodness, only 1. And 1 has fallen. We're then going to fire the heavy bolters from the tank into the Rubric Marines there. So we need force to hit, re-rolling. So a few misses there. A few more. And freeze to wound. Re-rolling. Okay, so that is 6 wounds, and because now heavy bolts are doing 2 damage, the all is dust rule doesn't really help. So that's 6 saves of -1, please, Gavin. Oh, that's not as good. That's oh geez, 3 more dead. So 4 dead in that squad there. It's quite a large. That's half of them gone. Right. Let's have a little round up and move into assault. Right, so I've had a look across the battlefield here, and I think the only rational, when I say rational, is the loosest possible term of rational, move for me to make here is for these veterans to charge into the Demon Prince there. He's only got 2 wounds left, so I could possibly do this. If the Emperor is watching over me, this will work. So we're going to move into turn 2, assault for the Imperial Guard. Right, so the veterans have made their charge in. Here we go. We've got a lot of attacks here. We're hitting on 4s. We're wounding on 6s, but remember, we just got to kill him. Just got to kill him. Uh-oh, that's not looking good, is it? So that's 5. 5 hits. Here come 5 6s. We can do it. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I'm a bit scared. Oh no. Oh no, not like this. And then re-rolling 1 because I need to. No, nothing. Oh no. Right, Gavin, do you want to fight back? You don't have to.
I do want to fight back.
You can just stand there if you want.
I want to fight back.
Right, okay. Let's see if Gavin can do anything to these veterans of Cadia.
So I'm going to use my Malefic Talons.
Okay.
5 attacks.
5 attacks, coming back, hitting on 2s.
Oh look.
Oh dear. Oh
and
dear.
Strength 7.
Yep, so wounding on 2s. Oh, that's 4. And AP minus 2.
AP minus 2.
Yep, so 4 saves of 6s. Oh, 1. So 3 have fallen, although they are very brave guardsmen. So that's it for my turn 2. Let's move into turn 2 for the Thousand Suns. Right, turn 2 movement for the Thousand Suns. So in the backfield of the guard here, a squad of Terminators have materialised here, looking at the back armour of the Demolishers there. This could go horribly wrong for one of us. Fate Weaver pounced forwards once more towards the guard lines there. The rubrics remained strong and slowly walking forwards there. Exalted Flame and his angles are remaining stationary, holding that objective. They've been given one job and they're doing it. Down here, another squad of Terminators have suddenly materialised behind the Stormtroopers that are here. The Changeling has turned around, seeing the threat from the plasma fire, and over here, Araman. Araman himself is heading towards the Guard Veterans and the Chimera. So, yeah, lots of movement for the Thousand Suns. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do now in turn 2. So let's move on to Psychic and Shooting. So in the Psychic phase here, Araman is casting Doombolt across into the Scions here, Flamestorm into the Veterans here, and a Smite into the Chimera. So where do you want to start, Gavin?
Let's start with the Doombolt.
The Doombolt from Araman over there. And what's the warp charge of Doombolt?
It's a 9.
Can you roll a 9?
8, because it's +1.
Okay. Yeah, no. Thank the gods. I mean the Emperor. Of course I mean the Emperor. Firestorm?
Need a 7.
Okay. Oh, the barrels! There's the barrels!
I'll take it.
Gonna re-roll?
Gonna re-roll.
Gonna re-roll. Yep. Both dice. Both dice. Here we go. No. Oh, hang on. No, that wasn't. No, what's the warp charge on that? 6 you needed, or 7? 7. Oh no. So then it's down to a Smite. Araman is having an off moment. And a Smite has gone off. In fact, that is a 10, isn't it? Is that a 10? I think that is a 10, yeah.
Yep.
Right, okay.
So that is 6 wounds.
6 wounds. Uh-oh, it's dead. See if it blows up. No, it doesn't blow up. So it's just a wrecked Chimera. Next up here, we have got the Changeling, and he is coming around and casting Treason of Tzeentch on this commander here. So essentially, Gavin will be taking him over and using him for his own evil means. So, Leadership 8, but what's the warp charge?
Warp charge 8.
Warp charge 8. Oh, okay. Let's see if he pops it. Oh no! Ah, ha, ha. Tempestos remain loyal to the Imperium. Filthy, filthy Xeno demon scum. Right, so at the end of turn 2, Psychic and Shooting for the Thousand Suns, Fate Weaver didn't do very well. He cast Treason of Tzeentch over onto the Psyker here, although we denied it. This little Psyker denied Fate Weaver, and then Fate Weaver, obviously taken aback by this, failed everything else he was trying to do that turn. Demon Prince, however, did cast a smite, killing off 3 of the veterans there. Nothing really here, although they did cast their ability to pop up a couple more wounds onto the Demon Prince there. On the backfield here, the Stormtroopers took fire from the Scarab Occult Terminators. The Combi Bolters fired in there, killing a couple off. The Zangors also fired in. Down here, the heavy weapons from the Terminators fired into that one there, as well as the Exalted Flamers there. So Gavin has now realised that his Flamer is in range and he's going to fire some heavy shots in there. So let's see if he can do anything. Oh, yes he can. And 2s. Okay, it's a -4 AP, isn't it? Ouch. So that's 3 more Stormtroopers dead. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Very painful. So that's half that squad have been destroyed. Moving across the field to the back corner here, the Terminators fired their shots into the infantry squad here, killing off 3 there. Heavy weapons into the back of the Demolisher, but didn't do anything there. So a lot of infantry have fallen. The armour is still pretty safe, but infantry are falling across the field. So we're going to move into turn 2 assault for the Thousand Suns. Right, so the end of turn 2 assault for the Thousand Suns. The Demon Prince over here killed off the last remaining veterans that are in combat there. Leaderships across the board. We only lost 1 guy, which was really surprising because there was lots of casualties for the infantry, but one of the Stormtroopers here has fallen, which is a bit of a shame there. So that is the end of turn 2 for the Thousand Suns. We're going to move in now to turn 3 for the Imperial Guard. Right, turn 3 for the Astra Militarum, or the Guard. We have gained 5 more points for holding this objective. Half of the objectives are completely out of anyone's control at the beginning of the movement phase, which is quite interesting. The Warlord has revealed the Relic of Lost Cadia here. So the Chaos units within, well, every friendly unit within 12 gets a nice boost against Chaos units here. So hopefully we can do some damage. Back here, the Command Squad have fallen back to deal with these Terminators. They're going on overcharge because if they don't go on overcharge, they're as good as dead anyway. 2 infantry squads have pushed forwards here, moving out of line. They're going forwards. Hopefully they can do something against the Thousand Suns. This Demolisher still slowly trundling forwards. And down here, veterans are moving up onto the objective there. Over on this flank, behind the Thousand Suns lines, the Squad of Scions are consolidating their position there, preparing for a last stand against the Ruralist powers. But that is essentially it for the movement phase. On this flank, the demons are coming up in force, and we need to try and take them out as soon as we possibly can. So, let's move in to turn 3, psychic and shooting for the Guard. Right, so turn 3 shooting. Obviously, as the commander unveiled that lost part of Cadia, it spurred the Sons of Cadia on, and they laid some devastating fire down. This centre here, unbelievable. Plasma guns back here, wiping the squad of Terminators back there. They are gone. Autocannon fire came in from both of these here, firing in and shredding Fate Weaver. The heavy bolters and the autocannons leaving nothing but feathers. Missile launcher fired from here into the Demon Prince, killing the Demon Prince there. Over here, a bit of Stormtrooper fire, really did almost nothing. I think we killed 1, maybe, 1 there. And down here, plasma fire went into the Changeling, taking 3 wounds off of him here, there. So he's still on 1 wound. Stormtrooper, veteran fire here, fired in there, causing 2 wounds onto Araman. So a lot of fire, a really devastating turn for the Thousand Suns, losing those 2 big units there, as well as the Terminators. Ouch. Nasty. We're not having an assault phase because we're in positions where we shouldn't really be charging into Heretic Astartes or Demons. So Oh, and the last thing to note is that the commander back here, instead of issuing orders or shooting or anything, has been putting down teleport homers there. So that is it. That is the end of turn 3 for the Imperial Guard. We're going to move on now to the Thousand Suns, turn 3. Turn 3 movement for the Thousand Suns. So straight away, beginning of turn 3, they scored 5 points for holding the objective back there with the Zangors. These Thousand Suns, the Rubric Marines there, are moving up onto this objective here to try and secure that. Back here, it's still holding, they don't need to move. They've taken fire, but they are still standing. Across the field, Ahriman is uniting the demons over there. So within the ruins, the demons are pushing forwards, and they are holding their own. So these two Exalted Flames are moved up. Now their weapons they can fire there can be pretty devastating to armour, so hopefully we'll see what happens. But Ahriman there just moved up very slightly, maybe going in for an assault against a few veterans. He should be able to do that easily. Changeling has fallen back after taking a hit from plasma. He's a little bit more reluctant to go forwards. And the Terminators have moved up as well. So that is it for the movement. It's going into psychic and shooting. This is where the Thousand Suns can do their damage. Let's see what they can do. Right, end of turn 3, psychic and shooting for the Thousand Suns. So down here, Thousand Suns used their ability, which was called...
Oh, Time Flux.
Time Flux, that's it. And got back one more Rubric Marine. Back here, the Scarab Occult Terminators are ripping apart the Scions. Fire came in here, killing all but one of the Scions there. And similar story over here as well, leaving just the commander. If the commander can remain alive, we're able to complete the secondary objective by putting teleport homers down. Across the field, a bit of fire came in, but nothing really did too much damage, although the Demolisher over here got knocked down to 6 wounds as both the Exalted Flamers fired their stuff in, causing 6 wounds on the Demolisher there. Ahriman there throwing a frag grenade in, and with a smite as well, has lowered this squad down to 2. So they are in some serious trouble in a moment. And that was it really. So we're going to move in to Assault and see if the Thousand Suns want to do anything. Right, so the end of turn 3 Assault. And the Exalted Flamers and Ahriman charged into the 2 surviving veterans, ripping them apart and claiming the objective for the Thousand Suns there. And that was it, really. Had a failed charge across the field as the Terminators got a bit over-enthusiastic. And yeah, that is that. But at the moment, at the end of turn 3, the Thousand Suns are actually sitting on 3 of the 4 objectives. So they've put themselves in quite a good position back here. They're a little bit behind on the victory points at the moment, but holding 3 objectives will definitely put them up in their 4th turn. So let's move on to turn 4 for the Imperial Guard. Right, so turn 4 movement for the Imperial Guard. Scoring 5 points straight away for still holding that objective there. As I said previously, the Thousand Suns have got themselves onto every other objective at the moment. Very annoying. The squad down here had an advance roll and they got a nice big high number. Very close to the objective now, but unfortunately not going to be able to capture it from the rubrics, although they will put themselves in a good position if they go on to turn 5. Every other bit of Imperial armour back here is slowly trundling forwards. So these 2 are slowly moving forwards. This one here has gone as quick as he can without advancing, so no double shots for him. Salamander command vehicles put himself into the centre near to the Warlord. This Demolisher over here just remains stationary. After taking a bit of a hit, he just wants to sit there and try and have a bit of revenge on the Exalted Flamers there. So that is our movement. We're going to move into turn 4, Psychic and Shooting for the Imperial Guard. Turn 4 shooting for the Imperial Guard, and it didn't go particularly well, unfortunately. The Demolisher fire wasn't amazing. A lot of saves were made over here. This Exalted Flamers on 1 wound got hit by this Demolisher here. We gave it Vengeance Vacadia, but only 1 wound. Well, a couple went through and he took him down to 1 wound. This one here got a boost up from the Salamander command vehicle. Oh, actually, no, we killed the Changeling. That's what happened. We fired into the Changeling and killing him off there. So that's another point there for Assassinate. which I think we're close to maxing out if we haven't already. Over here, the exterminators and the 2 guard squads fired down into the rubric marines. They passed a lot of saves, but 3 were killed. And that is it. We're not going to go into assault. So we're going to do morale and move straight into turn 4 for the Thousand Suns. Turn 4 movement. So the Thousand Suns got 15 points at the beginning of that for holding 3 of the objectives. This Exalted Flamer has just moved up, trying to get a flame shot off against this squad of guardsmen that are slowly trying to manoeuvre themselves into position to take that objective. Everyone else, however, is remaining stationary on the objectives or into areas where they can do some serious damage there. So if we move around there, once again, Araman is down there with 2 Exalted Flamers there. Ouch, that could be painful. So we're going to move into turn 4, Psychic and Shooting for the Thousand Suns. Right, turn 4, Psychic and Shooting. So down here, we had the Exalted Flamer firing its pistol flame in there. We had Bolter and the cannon firing in here. Also, the cannon got brought back due to the Psychic going off again there. So that's quite a handy ability, reducing that squad down to 3. Across here, some Zangors fired into the last remaining Scion here. Oh, the Scion is still holding strong. Down here, we had a Smite and Combi Bolters coming in here and killing off the remaining commander there. Over here, however, Araman tried to do a little bit of smiting and perils twice. So he's taken a bit of damage there. I think he's on 2 wings now, isn't he? Oh dear. The Flamers, however, did quite well, and they were still firing into the Demolisher, taking him down to a single wound over here. So, yeah, it's very close to exploding. Those plasmas, you know, they live their life on the edge as it is. They're probably going to distance themselves a little bit from the Demolisher. And we're going to turn into turn 4, Assault. Yep, he's nodding. Turn 4, Assault for the Thousand Suns. At the end of turn 4 for the Thousand Suns, Araman and the Flamers charged into the guard squad there, killing them all. Although the sergeant, before he failed in his morale, did 1 wound to Araman, just to teach him a lesson, with his chainsaw ripping into his gut. And that is it. So we're going to move on to turn 5, the final turn for the guard. Can they bring this round for a victory for the Imperium? Turn 5 movement for the Imperial Guard. So once again we score 5 points for holding 1 objective, as the Thousand Suns are still on the other 3. Unfortunately we did fail our attempt to remove them. They are still there. This squad here moved up onto the objective here, but of course it's too late. They can try and knock those rubrics off and cancel out another 5 of their points. So the tanks here have also pushed up. They have left the lines and now are very aggressively pushing forwards here. Flag waving in the wind as it plummets through the terrain towards the rubrics. This one here, it's got a bit of a bead down to the Zangors, so I could attempt to fire into them. I don't know how successful I'd be. So we might concentrate our fire down here and see if we can kill them off there. Demolisher over here is another thing that's moved up. Moved up into the doorway of this building here, getting a nice line of sight down there into the Thousand Suns. And the Plasma squad has moved up as well, next to the very smoky Lehman Russ that is there at the moment. So they might be putting some fire down in towards the Chaos forces there. Right, so once more into the breach, my friends. Let's see what we can do. Right, so at the end of turn 5 for the guard, we had a very successful turn here. We had autocannon fire coming in into the rubrics, ripping the last 3 apart, and we had this guy then fire into the Exalted Flamer, which was in there with the heavy bolter and the autocannon, once again ripping them apart there. And finally, the only other bit of shooting worth mentioning is the Demolisher here fired 10 shots into Araman there, so Araman has fallen, and that is the end of the guard, turn 5. Let's see if the Thousand Suns, what they can do in their turn 5. Right, so at the end of turn 5 shooting for the Thousand Suns there, we had the Terminators fire into the last remaining Scion, taking him out surprisingly. He did well holding out for so long. In the movement, nothing happened. Over here, The last two remaining flamers there fired their shots into the Russ here and destroyed it. It didn't blow up, however. And that was it. Oh, sorry, one flamer fired in there and the other one fired in there, taking 4 wounds off of that. So we're going to come back in a moment with the final scores. But the battlefield is looking pretty sparse now. Although the Guard have taken casualties, quite a lot have died. And they are quite strong on the battlefield. Thousand Suns, however, are still holding key points on the field. They're still holding 2 objectives. These Terminators are hanging back here. So there are still a fair presence on the battlefield. But let's find out what the final scores are. Right, so at the end of that game there, the final scores are 47 points to the Imperial Guard and 50 to the Thousand Suns. So the Thousand Suns have just taken it by 3 points. A very, very close game. Like I said, the battlefield is looking pretty sparse, but the Thousand Suns did what they wanted to do all along. What did they do, Gavin?
As Magnus says, it was just as planned.
Just as planned. There you go. So yeah, a really fun game. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Model of the match for myself is probably going to be this little Demolisher here, because he's taken out a fair bit. He took out a Mauler Fiend, he's taken Harriman out, he was firing lots of fire into rubrics. He's done well for himself. Do you have a model of the match, Gavin?
Probably my Flamers.
Your Flamers, yeah, the exotic Flamers are being pretty much a constant. These two down here, taking out the Demolisher. I would have said Fate Weaver, but he didn't really do anything. Sad times. So anyway, this is Dom from Black Toe Studios. Thank you very much for watching. Put a comment below and we'll see you next time. Take care.